What if the waiting you're going through right now is not a delay, but a preparation? What if the pain you're experiencing isn't meaningless, but shaping something deeper within you? And what if the breakthrough you're praying for requires patience you haven't yet developed? There are seasons in life that test everything inside you. Seasons where prayers feel unanswered, where progress feels slow, where pain seems to linger longer than expected. In those moments, it's easy to feel frustrated, to question, to doubt, to ask, why is this taking so long? But in Epistle of James chapter 5, verses 7 to 12, we are given a message that speaks directly into those seasons. A message about patience, not passive waiting, but purposeful endurance. James begins with a simple instruction. Be patient then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. Be patient. That sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things to live out. Because patience goes against our nature. We want answers now, relief now, results now. But patience asks us to wait, to trust, to endure. And to help us understand, James gives us a powerful image. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crop, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. Think about that. A farmer plants seeds but doesn't see results immediately. There's a process, time, waiting, trusting that what was planted will grow. The farmer cannot rush the harvest. He cannot force the rain. He cannot control the timing. But he continues to wait with expectation. That's the kind of patience James is talking about. Not a hopeless waiting, but a hopeful one. A waiting that believes something is happening even when you can't see it. And that changes everything. Because when you understand that growth takes time, waiting becomes less frustrating and more meaningful. James continues, you too, be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. Stand firm. That means don't give up. Don't lose your foundation. Don't let temporary hardship shake your long-term faith, because in difficult seasons it's easy to drift, to become discouraged, to lose focus. But patience is not just about waiting, it's about staying grounded while you wait. Then James adds something very practical. Don't grumble against one another, or you will be judged. That's interesting, because when we go through hard times, one of the first things we do is complain. We become irritated. We take our frustration out on others. We allow pressure to turn into negativity. But James is warning us, because how you respond in difficult seasons matters. Not just what you go through, but how you go through it. Do you become bitter or better? Do you push people away or grow in compassion? Do you complain or choose trust? Because suffering reveals what's inside, and patience shapes what comes out. James then points us to examples. Brothers and sisters, as an example of patience in the face of suffering, take the prophets who spoke in the name of the Lord. These were people who followed God faithfully, and yet they suffered. They were misunderstood, rejected, opposed, but they remained patient. They stayed committed. They didn't walk away when things got hard. That's important, because sometimes we think that if we're doing the right thing, life should be easy. But that's not always the case. Faithfulness doesn't guarantee comfort, but it does produce strength. Then James brings up a name that represents endurance more than almost anyone else, Job. You have heard of Job's perseverance and have seen what the Lord finally brought about. Job went through unimaginable loss, pain, confusion, silence, and yet he endured. He didn't understand everything, but he continued to trust. And in the end, God restored him, not just materially, but spiritually. Because Job's story is not just about suffering, it's about what happens after. James reminds us, the Lord is full of compassion and mercy. That's the foundation of patience. Knowing that God is not distant, He is not indifferent, He sees, He cares, He understands. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, God is working. Even when you don't see progress, something is being formed. Patience allows that process to happen, without rushing it, without breaking under it, without abandoning it. Then James shifts to another important point. Above all, do not swear, not by heaven or by earth or by anything else. All you need to say is a simple yes or no. This might seem unrelated, but it connects deeply, because in seasons of pressure, people often make emotional decisions. They overpromise, they react quickly, they speak without thinking. But James is calling for stability, integrity, consistency. Let your words be simple, honest, grounded, because patience is not just about waiting, It's about living with clarity and integrity while you wait. So what does this mean for you today? It means that whatever you're going through right now has purpose. Even if you don't understand it, even if it feels slow, even if it feels painful, growth is happening, strength is being built, character is being formed. But only if you remain, only if you endure, only if you choose patience. That doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It doesn't mean pretending everything is fine. It means choosing not to let your emotions control your direction. It means trusting God even when you don't have answers. It means believing that the process has value, because some things can only be developed through time, through pressure, through waiting. Patience teaches you things comfort never could. It teaches you trust, dependence, resilience. And those qualities shape your future more than immediate success ever could. So instead of asking, why is this taking so long? Ask, what is this season teaching me? Instead of saying, I just want this to be over, say, I want to grow through this. Because the way you walk through difficulty determines what you become on the other side. And one day you will look back and you will see that what felt like delay was actually preparation. That what felt like silence was actually growth. That what felt like waiting was actually becoming. So don't rush the process, don't give up in the middle, don't lose heart when things feel slow. Stand firm, stay patient, keep trusting, because the harvest is coming, the breakthrough is forming, and the story is not finished yet. Thank you for watching this video. If this message spoke to your heart, don't forget to like, follow the channel, and share this video with someone who needs encouragement today.